These conditions are not the same, and saying they are because the VA rates migraines and headaches on the same scale in 38 CFR really gives people a lot of false hope on obtaining the highest rating, which is 50% for migraines or headaches. And yes, this actually matters, and I'm going to explain why differentiating headaches and migraines really matters. Okay, and food for thought, yes, you can have a TDIU rating for migraines by itself, so technically that's the highest rating. You'll find that in M21 TAC 1. Okay, now usually when people talk 50% for migraines, they really only reference the missing work portion, but it's a lot more than just economic and adaptability. All right. No, I'm not a physician, but I do know the difference between a headache and a migraine because I get them a lot. All right. A lot. I carry Tylenol with me everywhere I go, as well as my sumatriptan. A headache can suck. Okay. There's no doubt about that. But the way I would frame it in my own edification is Tylenol will get you through a headache. Okay. A migraine, on the other hand, and if you've ever dealt with a real, and I mean real, seriously real migraine, then you know exactly what I'm about to talk about because it's a pain that you can do nothing about. It just happens and you're along for the ride. Okay. Sometimes the throbbing pain, I get them a lot in my left front temple here. I guess it could be anywhere for you, whatever that looks like. But sometimes it's throbbing to the point where you can feel the blood being pumped through your veins wherever that throbbing is. And it's a very unique feeling. Okay. Extremely unique. If you've had it, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know if you've had it, you haven't had it. Okay. This is one of those things where you would absolutely know 100% that this is you. When you get a real migraine, a serious migraine, right? Every single thing around you is extremely aggravating, and laying down doesn't really help, but it's the only thing that you can do. Every single sound is amplified and you can't do anything about it. Okay. The fan speed might be on high, and the sound of your fan going around is going to bother you, right? Like that's the level of sound detail we're talking about. And if your tinnitus starts ringing while you have that migraine going, that will make you suicidal. Okay. A real migraine is there's nothing good about it. It only sucks. And you're just along for the ride. Okay. Tylenol does not do anything. And in fact, if this is you, if I'm describing your symptoms, this is where you really need to get a prescribed medication, right? Sumatriptan at 50 milligrams or 100 milligrams will help. There are many, many more, but sumatriptan, that's what I take, will put you to sleep. And so that gets back to missing work or completely prostrating, okay? If you take medication, in my case, sumatriptan, it's going to knock you out, right? How the medication works, I'm not really going to try to explain this, but when you take it, it feels like a rush sensation up to your brain, and it's going to put you to sleep, okay? And it's a really good sleep too. That's what sumatriptan does for me, right? So although you're taking medication, it still knocks you out, which is still completely prostrating. And that's when you start leaning towards that 50%. That's a lot different than saying I get 6 headaches a month and I take Tylenol and it goes away. Okay. The notion that just because you get 6 headaches a month doesn't mean you're going to be granted 50%. And veterans really need to just take a step back and ask themselves, okay, ask yourself, do you experience headaches or migraines? And whatever that answer is, okay, go speak to your healthcare team. Don't self-diagnose. Don't self-segregate away from benefits. Gather your evidence, talk about your symptoms, and be truthful and honest when it comes to your disabilities. Migraines is one of those ratings where I see, I do a few one-on-ones here and there, and migraines generally comes up. And I'll ask them questions about radiculopathy, and they're like, yeah, immediately. Yes, my legs go numb. This happens, that happens. I ask questions about their cervical strain or what happened in service, and boom, I get answers pretty fast, right? And then I ask questions about migraines, and they're like, well, I do get a lot of migraines, and it's not a solid answer. The reason I'm even saying that is because migraines is one of those subjective claims, if you will. Okay. So be truthful, be honest, go get your evidence. I can't preach that enough. Okay. Now, all of this is fine and dandy, but you still need the big three to be service connected. And migraines is a claim where secondary does come into play quite often. And if you're wondering if migraine secondary to mental health is stronger than migraine secondary to tinnitus, the answer is yes, and it's by a lot stronger, especially on the anxiety panic attack side of the house. But at the end of the day, your evidence would dictate if you're going to submit that, secondary to your tinnitus, because your evidence supports that, or your evidence supports migraine secondary to mental health, or your evidence supports, migraine secondary to sinusitis. What does your evidence tell you? What's secondary for me or someone else is not secondary for you. You have to have the evidence. Anyways, I've been seeing a lot of comments and questions about headaches and getting 50%. And I just want to make this as clear as I possibly can, okay? Yes, you can be rated for headaches at 50%, but you need to meet the criteria for 50% and really understand what's going on with, headaches that are, who gets headaches? Everyone gets headaches, okay? Everyone gets headaches. Who gets migraines? Depending on how severe they are, that's a different story, okay? So food for thought. If you made it to the end, I'm obviously traveling. I'm in a hotel right now. I'm traveling for my real job. Okay. If you made it to the end, comment below. I definitely like seeing that people made it to the end here. This is kind of a rushed video, so hopefully it does well. If you made it to the end, please let me know in the comments. And if you're service connected for migraines or headaches, let me know. Is it migraines? Is it headaches? What is your rating? And if you're going to look at evidence for the increase, I'm going to give a video down below in the pinned comment that really looks at migraines from 0% to 50%. It's one of the most common claims I see that are service connected, but a 0% rating. Okay. Almost every veteran I know that has migraines at 50% had to do a higher level review because the VA service connected that migraine claim, but they also gave it a 0% rating. So evidence comes in clutch. I'm going to summarize, but the full video is going to be below in the pinned comments. Check that out. One's going to be speak to your healthcare team, right? Get hard medical evidence, prescribed medication, whatever it looks like for you. Refills are going to tell frequency and severity. Go speak to your healthcare team. Number two, a personal statement that supports the medical evidence that you are submitting with that increased claim. That's it. Don't do a statement in lieu of medical evidence. Don't do medical evidence and not do a statement. Do them both, and that will set you up for the increase and the higher level review if you need it. But yeah, it'll be below in the pinned comments. Let me know if you made it to the end, and that's all I got. Thank you.